Hey guys, this is Caleb here with Common Motor. That's common-motor.com on the internets. And today we are showing you how to put together our bigger headlight bucket because we received a lot of questions about it, and it's pretty simple. So we have all the pieces laid out in front of us. We have the outer bucket, the lens. These two pieces actually sandwich the lens inside the bucket, and then you have your headlight bucket rim right here. So I'm going to set the big outer bucket and the headlight rim aside. First, you need to put the lens in the lens holder assembly. We can remove this rubber piece. Now, on the lens holder, in this gold ring, there's 3 little divots. On the back of the lens, there is 3 little brackets that come off of it. And this only fits in one way. So you want to hold it up to the holder. See if all 3 fit. This one doesn't, so we will turn it one. All right, we've turned it one, and we see now that 1, 2, 3 little lens brackets are lined up with the little notches in the lens holding ring. So we now have the lens in the right spot. Next thing you want to do is grab the top ring, and on this top ring you can see there's a little notch on it. It's the only notch on the whole ring, so we want to take that notch and line it up with the bottom notch right here. And that notch is going to just sit on there so you know you're in the right spot. Now this lens is pretty much a carbon copy of the factory lens that would have came in the CB450, the later ones, and then the 550, 750. So if you've taken apart your stock Honda bucket, this is very similar, but we get a lot of questions asking how to do this. Maybe you are missing the stock bucket, and it is a bit of a complicated assembly. We have the holder sandwiched together. Now all we need to do is lock it into these 2 screws right here, and that will complete the sandwiched assembly. We have our little 2 screws, and those are going to be what hold our little lens assembly together. So we're going to put one in each hole. We're going to take our screwdriver, and I want to get both started, but I don't want to tighten one of them before the other one is started. If you tighten one of them all the way, you won't be able to get the other one started. All right, we have both of them started, so now we're going to tighten them up. Tighten that one up. Tighten that one up. Maybe double check them here. And you'll know this is put together because we have the little mount and that little tab right here slotted through, so that's holding on this side, and then we have the 2 screws on the other side, and that keeps this together as one piece. Nothing's falling out, nothing's jiggling. You want this to be tight because this is what holds the lens steady inside the bucket. Now that we have the lens holder put together, we're going to attach it inside the headlight rim. Now the rim is a little interesting. Right now I have the screws put in it that attach it to the bucket. We'll take those out, set them to the side. There are 2 pivoting points on the headlight rim itself that the lens assembly sits inside of. We can drop this down into the rim. Once it is in the rim, we can take our 2 bolts with the 2 nuts that have the rubber washers on them, and we are going to put them through the hole on each side right here. Screw them together. You'll notice that this screw has a little collar on it. They have a little collar on them because these are designed to not let the headlight pivot back and forth, just like the stock Honda headlights. That allows you to aim the headlight once it's on the bike, so you can have it aimed at the perfect spot on the road. Now, we've got the headlight mounted in the rim. You can see it's floating and it's able to pivot. The last thing we need to install is the screw that controls the headlight pivot. It's pretty simple. See, on the back of the headlight, you have this little arm that comes off of it. On the front of the headlight, there's a single hole. So you take the long screw, you put it through the hole in the front of the headlight. We are going to slip the spring onto the back of that screw. And we want to push the spring down onto, we want to push the spring down under the bracket in the back of the headlight. It can be a little fiddly, but once you get it in there, you can see that the spring is behind the bracket, but the screw goes all the way through. We can thread our square nut onto here. The square nut is designed to be held captive by that little bracket so it does not turn, and that way you can adjust the pivot of the lens just using the screw on the front. The nut's not going to move in the back. So now that we have that set up, we can go ahead and install the rim inside the bucket. But imagine at this point it would be on your bike. One thing that's worth showing you before we install this into the bucket is that the bulb's really easy to take out. You simply push down and squeeze together those two little arms. Bulb comes right back out. It only goes back in one way because of these little tabs on it. Just like any H4 bulb, you can slip this down back into the hole so it's lined up, it's not moving. Push the bracket back down, and we can put one of the arms back under at a time to get it back installed into there. We'll put the little rubber cover over top. And that way we are all set up. Now we can install the headlight rim with the lens assembly inside of it into the headlight bucket. We will take this little part that is kind of bent up on the headlight bucket, and we're going to place it underneath the headlight rim right here. So the rim kind of goes around. There's a small cutout here on the top. It's meant to slide it in and then turn. So we'll put that cutout. We'll put the tab through the cutout. And you want to turn the headlight until the holes of these tabs are lined up with the holes on the bottom of the headlight bucket. You'll know you've done it right when there's no gap on the top of the headlight and the holes line up on the bottom. We can then install those. And the bucket is assembled. Once it's on the bike, you'll want to wire it up with the little pigtail included. This screw will control your left to right adjustment. Like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, the headlight only goes together one way. You can't accidentally install it the wrong way, but you will know that everything's correct right now with the headlight bucket. With the bottom facing down, which has the hole in it here, we can see that the H4 is the correct way. When you look at it on the bike, the H4 should be facing up, as you can read it standing in front of it. Last thing to note is included with the bucket is a small bag. These are going to be your mounting bolts for the bucket onto the headlight ears. And that's it. Email us at our support if you have any questions. Again, this is Caleb with common-motor.com. Don't forget to like and follow us on Facebook and Instagram, subscribe to our newsletter on the website, and don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel right down below. We'll see you next time. Thanks.